Let me ask you something, and I need you to be brutally honest with yourself right now. Where are you? Not physically. I mean, where are you in your life? Because it's the end of December 2025, and if you're watching this video, there's a pretty good chance you're sitting there with that familiar, uncomfortable feeling in your chest. That feeling that whispers, you could have done more, should have done more. That 2025 slipped through your fingers like water, and you're standing here at the finish line wondering where the hell the time went. I'm not here to coddle you. I'm not going to tell you that it's perfectly fine, that you should just love yourself and accept where you are. You know why? Because you didn't click on this video to hear that. You clicked on it because somewhere deep inside, you know you left something on the table this year. You know you had opportunities you didn't take, conversations you didn't have, workouts you skipped, business ideas you shelved, relationships you neglected. And now, as we stand on the edge of 2026, you're terrified that next year is going to be exactly the same. Let me tell you something that might sting a little bit. Wasting 2025 wasn't an accident. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't because the universe conspired against you or because you didn't have enough time or resources. You wasted 2025 because of a fundamental misunderstanding about how human beings actually change. And if we don't correct that misunderstanding right now, in this moment, you're going to waste 2026 too, and 2027. And you're going to wake up 5 years from now in the exact same position, just older, just more tired, with even more regret weighing on your shoulders. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out exactly why you wasted this year, and then we're going to build a completely different approach for 2026. But I need you to actually pay attention, not half attention while you scroll through your phone, real attention. Because what I'm about to share with you has the potential to completely transform your trajectory, but only if you actually implement it. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Most people think they failed this year because they lacked discipline or motivation or willpower. That's not it. You failed because you were fighting against your own identity. See, every single person has an internal identity, a story they tell themselves about who they are. Maybe your story is, I'm the person who starts strong but never finishes. Maybe it's, I'm not the type who succeeds at business. Maybe it's, I'm just naturally lazy. These aren't just thoughts. These are programs running in the background of your mind, controlling everything you do. And here's the trap that nobody talks about. You will always act in accordance with your identity, even when you consciously want something different. Let me give you an example. Let's say you set a goal on January 1st to make $100,000 this year. Big goal. You were pumped. You were motivated. You made plans. You got organized. You started taking action. But somewhere around March or April, you started slipping. You missed days. You made excuses. By summer, you were basically back to your old patterns. What happened? Your conscious mind wanted the $100,000, but your subconscious identity said, I'm a person who makes $40,000 a year. And when your actions started pushing you toward that $100,000 reality, your subconscious freaked out. It didn't feel safe. It didn't feel like you. So it sabotaged you. It made you procrastinate. It made you feel tired. It made you choose Netflix over work. Not because you're weak, but because your brain was trying to protect your identity. This is why New Year's resolutions fail at an astronomical rate. People try to change their actions without changing their identity. They try to act like a millionaire while still identifying as broke. They try to work out like an athlete while still identifying as lazy. It doesn't work. You cannot outperform your self-image for any meaningful length of time. So if you wasted 2025, it's because you were trying to achieve goals that didn't match who you believed yourself to be. And every time you got close to breaking through to that next level, your identity pulled you back like a rubber band snapping back to its original shape. Now, here's the good news. Identity isn't fixed. It's not set in stone. You weren't born with it tattooed on your soul. You built it, piece by piece, through years of experiences and decisions and stories you told yourself, which means you can rebuild it. You can become someone completely different, but it requires a specific process, and that process isn't what most people think. Most people think change happens through massive motivation and iron willpower. That works for about 3 weeks, maybe a month if you're really determined. But then the motivation fades, the willpower depletes, and you're right back where you started. We need a different approach. The approach that actually works is what I call identity-based transformation. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, you focus on who you want to become. Instead of saying, I want to lose 30 pounds, you say, I want to become the type of person who takes care of their body. Instead of, I want to make more money, it's, I want to become the type of person who creates value and solves problems. See the difference? One is about outcomes. The other is about identity. When you shift your focus to identity, something magical happens. Your brain stops fighting you. Instead of feeling like you're forcing yourself to do things, you start doing them naturally because that's just who you are. A person who takes care of their body doesn't struggle to go to the gym. They just go. It's part of their identity. A person who creates value doesn't procrastinate on their business. They show up. It's automatic. So, how do we rebuild your identity for 2026? We use a 3-part framework that I've personally used to completely transform my own life and that I've seen work for thousands of other people. If you implement this framework correctly over the next 90 days, you will not recognize yourself by April. Your family won't recognize you. Your friends will ask what happened to you, and you'll look back at who you were in 2025 and feel like you're looking at a completely different person. The first part of the framework is environmental design. Your environment is more powerful than your willpower. If you have junk food in your house, you will eat it eventually. If you have your phone next to your bed, you will scroll first thing in the morning. If you hang around people who waste time and complain about life, you will waste time and complain about life. Your environment shapes your behavior, which shapes your identity. So, for the first 90 days of 2026, we're going to treat your environment like a crime scene that needs to be cleaned. We're going to remove every trigger, every distraction, every influence that reinforces your old identity. This is going to feel extreme. It might feel dramatic. Good. Dramatic change requires dramatic action.
Start with your phone. That device in your pocket is either a tool that serves you or a weapon that destroys your focus. Right now, for most people, it's a weapon, so we're going to disarm it. Delete every social media app that doesn't directly contribute to your goals. I don't care if you think you need it to stay connected. You don't. Delete TikTok, delete Instagram, delete Twitter. If you absolutely need these platforms for business, you can access them through a web browser once a day for 15 minutes. That's it. Turn your phone to grayscale mode. Remove the color, remove the dopamine hit. Make your phone boring. Next, your physical space. Look around your room or your apartment or your house right now. What do you see? If you see the PlayStation, you're going to play it. If you see the TV remote, you're going to watch TV. If you see the bag of chips, you're going to eat them. Remove the temptations. Create an environment that makes good decisions easy and bad decisions hard. Put your gym clothes out the night before. Meal prep your food so healthy eating is convenient. Remove everything that doesn't support the person you're trying to become. Now the hardest part, your social environment. The 5 people you spend the most time with essentially determine who you become. If those 5 people are broke, you'll be broke. If they're out of shape, you'll be out of shape. If they're negative and complaining all the time, you'll be negative and complaining. This doesn't make them bad people. It just means they're not compatible with your new identity. For the next 90 days, you need to create distance from anyone who reinforces your old patterns. The friends who only call you to party, the family members who mock your ambitions, the coworkers who waste time gossiping. Create distance. This isn't forever, but it is necessary. You cannot build a new identity while surrounded by people who knew the old version of you and expect you to stay that way. The second part of the framework is evidence accumulation. Remember, your brain believes your identity based on evidence. If you say, I'm a hard worker, but you hit snooze every morning and procrastinate all day, your brain doesn't believe you. It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is what you do. So we need to start stacking evidence that proves your new identity is real. This is where most people mess up. They try to change everything at once. They're going to wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym for 2 hours, work for 12 hours straight, read for an hour, meditate, journal, and completely transform overnight. That lasts 3 days, maybe 4, and then they burn out and quit. We're not doing that. We're going to be strategic. Choose one behavior that the person you want to become would do every single day without fail. Just one. Maybe it's working out for 30 minutes. Maybe it's writing for an hour. Maybe it's making 10 sales calls. Whatever it is, it needs to be specific, measurable, and non-negotiable. Then you do it every single day for 90 days. No exceptions. No, I'll make up for it tomorrow. Every single day. Why 90 days? Because that's roughly how long it takes for a behavior to start feeling automatic, for it to become part of your identity instead of something you force yourself to do. After 90 days of working out every morning, you won't be someone who's trying to work out. You'll be someone who works out. That's your identity now. And once that identity is established, you can add another behavior on top of it. Here's the key. You're not doing this behavior to achieve the outcome. You're doing it to become the person. Every single time you follow through, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it, you're casting a vote for your new identity. You're telling your brain, this is who I am now, and your brain listens to actions, not words. The third part of the framework is mental rehearsal. This is the piece most people completely ignore, and it's arguably the most important. Your brain doesn't distinguish much between vividly imagined experiences and real experiences. When you visualize something in detail, your brain starts treating it as real. We're going to use this to accelerate your identity transformation. Every single morning, before you do anything else, spend 10 minutes visualizing the person you're becoming, not the outcomes you want, the person. See yourself walking with confidence, hear yourself speaking with authority, feel yourself making decisions without hesitation. Watch yourself doing the hard thing when everyone else takes the easy path. Make it so vivid that it feels real. What are you wearing? How do you carry yourself? What does your energy feel like? Then, throughout the day, before every decision, ask yourself one question. What would the person I'm becoming do right now? Should I hit snooze or get up? What would that person do? Should I eat the donut or have the healthy breakfast? What would that person do? Should I scroll social media or do the work? What would that person do? Every decision becomes an opportunity to reinforce your new identity. Now, let me address something important. Some of you are thinking, this sounds like a lot of work. You're right, it is work. But you know what else is work? Living with regret, hating yourself every time you look in the mirror, feeling like a failure at the end of every year, watching other people live the life you wanted. That's work too. The only difference is that one type of work builds you up and the other tears you down. You're going to do work either way. You're going to struggle either way. The question is, do you want to struggle towards something meaningful, or do you want to struggle staying in the same place? Because I promise you, staying where you are requires just as much energy as changing. It's just invisible energy. The energy of suppressing your potential, the energy of making excuses, the energy of managing disappointment and regret. That energy adds up, and it's exhausting. So here's what happens next. You have a choice to make, and you need to make it right now. Not tomorrow, not on January 1st, right now. You can either close this video, go back to scrolling, tell yourself you'll start fresh next year, and repeat the exact same pattern you've been repeating, or you can decide that this is the moment everything changes, that 2025 was the last year you wasted, that you're done being the old version of yourself. If you're serious about this, if you actually want 2026 to be different, I need you to commit, not just in your head, publicly, right now. Leave a comment on this video and write exactly this: I am not the same person I was in 2025. Don't explain it, don't add anything else, just that sentence. Because when you declare something publicly, you activate a psychological principle called consistency. Your brain will work to make your actions consistent with your public declarations. And then, immediately after you comment, I want you to do one thing, just one. Do one behavior right now that the person you want to become would do. If that person works out, drop and do 20 push-ups right now.
If that person reads, pick up a book and read for 10 minutes. If that person works on their business, open your laptop and work for 15 minutes. Just one action, one piece of evidence, one vote for your new identity. Because here's the truth, 2025 is gone. You can't get it back. Those 12 months are burned. But 2026 is sitting there, completely blank, full of potential, waiting for you to write a different story. You can either repeat the same chapter you've been living, or you can start a completely new book. The pen is in your hand, the page is empty, and the only person who decides what gets written is you. 90 days from now, you're going to look back at this moment, and you're either going to thank yourself for making the decision to change, or you're going to regret that you let another opportunity slip away. Which one is it going to be?